Have been reported in Pennsylvania. Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. There have now been 2 additional presumptive positive cases of coronavirus in the Commonwealth. It's continuing coverage tonight at 10. 2 adult patients in Montgomery County have tested presumed positive for COVID-19. This brings the total number of patients in the county to 4. Both had known international exposure and are isolated at home. The total number of presumptive positive cases in Pennsylvania is now at 6. Governor Wolf says even with the new cases, the state is prepared and responding appropriately and swiftly. And there are more than 105,000 confirmed coronavirus cases worldwide, and more than 400 of those are within our borders. Federal, state, and local officials are continuously adding new steps to help keep Americans safe. And Sunday afternoon, the State Department issuing a travel warning for U.S. citizens, advising them to avoid cruise ships. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has the story.
New measures are being put in place every day as the number of those infected with coronavirus in the U.S. continues to increase.
We're in communication with a lot of experts around the country in terms of the best ways to contain this.
But some are concerned the Trump administration is downplaying the severity. Top health official Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's important to be honest about the virus.
When you have the evidence, you give it as it is. If you don't have all the evidence, because we're in a dynamic situation, you use your best judgment in recommendations and guidelines, but you must always be truthful with the American public.
Meanwhile, travel has slowed. Large-scale events like Austin's South by Southwest Festival have been canceled, delivering a blow to the travel and tourism industries.
We were expecting to make, thousands of dollars. The city was going to make millions of dollars, and now it's not happening.
While Americans continue to travel, Dr. Fauci has this warning for elderly or physically fragile Americans.
Right now, not wait, you should start to distance yourself from the risk. Crowds, getting on a plane, on a long plane trip, and above all, don't get on a cruise ship.
This warning comes as Carnival Panorama cruise ship passengers disembarked Sunday morning, a day after arriving in Long Beach. Officials holding people on board until they learned a sick passenger tested negative for the virus. Meanwhile, the Grand Princess, which is carrying 3,500 people from 54 countries and has multiple confirmed cases of coronavirus, is expected to dock in Oakland on Monday. Passengers will be quarantined for 14 days. Over 1 million coronavirus test kits have been shipped to non-public health labs. Another 4 million tests are expected to be shipped out across the country by the end of the week. In Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
And starting Monday at 3 p.m., we will feature a live daily update on the coronavirus as a digital daily newscast exclusive on YourErie.com. This report will feature up-to-the-minute breaking news from around the country on the latest developments in the spread and fight against COVID-19. Check it out daily at 3 p.m. on the Your Erie To Go app or online at YourErie.com. And our sister station, Jet 24, will air a special report Tuesday during our 5:30 newscast on the coronavirus. Experts from UPMC Hammett, as well as the Erie County Health Department, will answer your questions via our Your Erie Facebook page. That's Tuesday during Jet 24 Action News at 5:30. And weather now. Meteorologist Craig Flint has your Fox First forecast. Hey, Craig.
Beautiful today, Brian. Temperatures made it into the low 60s, and I think we're going to be there again tomorrow. That's a look right now at Chestnut Street, Meadville, from the downtown mall. Clear sky with a full worm moon. Well, not quite full. It's technically full tomorrow night, but you can see it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Nothing to see on Storm Tracker, and I think another nice day tomorrow. So right now, 55 degrees at 10 o'clock on March 8th. It's crazy. With a clear sky, and there's your forecast first. Big jump again tomorrow into the low 60s. We'll talk more about the forecast when this all comes to an end in just a bit. Right.
Thank you, Craig. A speeding car veered off the road, sheared an electric pole, and rolled over. The story's new tonight at 10. According to Pennsylvania State Police, That's an eyewitness account of the wreck that happened this evening on Westlake Road. Police say the vehicle was traveling down the road going about 90 to 100 miles an hour. The driver tried to pass another vehicle but veered off the road. Police closed down Westlake Road, but it's back up now. Police say the driver is suspected of DUI, and they continue to investigate. And one area fast food restaurant forced to close its doors Sunday after a fire is reported inside. Crews responded to the Arby's on Edinburgh Road near the MILLCREEK Mall shortly after 2 Sunday afternoon. According to the Arby's manager, a discarded cigarette butt caught one of the sides of the building on fire. Smoke traveled from the walls up into the ceiling. The store was evacuated and no injuries were reported. No word on when the fast food restaurant is expected to reopen. And Erie City Police were called to Haas & Associates medical office Saturday afternoon for a reported armed robbery. Police indicated that 2 males entered the medical office with masks and hooded sweatshirts. One of the robbers pulled a gun on the employees, demanding the deposit bag. The men took the deposit bag filled with money, then fled on foot. Police are still investigating. And one person is dead and several others are injured following a shooting in downtown Cleveland. According to our sister station in Cleveland, the shooting happened at a party on East 93rd Street and Way Avenue late Saturday night. A fight reportedly broke out, resulting in some people being removed from the event. They then returned, firing shots at other partygoers, some of whom fired back. Police believe a total of 18 people were shot. A 48-year-old man died, and the other victims, both men and women, sustained various injuries ranging from minor to serious, and some that require surgery. Police continue to investigate. And the stakes were high this morning at Rolling Meadow Lanes. More than 90 bowlers gathered for the 8th annual Erie Scratch Classic. Competitors took part in 4 games, which allowed the top bowlers to qualify to the final rounds. Bowlers in the tournament ranged from ages 16 to 65. The event looks to bring some of the best and most competitive bowlers from the tri-state area.
And I think bowlers, just appreciate the challenge. I mean, that's what it is. They want to step up, they want to bowl well, and at the end of the day, the person that bowls the best is going to walk away with a large check, a good chunk of money in their pocket, and a nice trophy.
And speaking of that big chunk of money, one person did win $2,000. And if you're looking to do some early spring cleaning, the Anna Shelter, they need your help. For the month of March, the Anna Shelter is asking you to donate any unused trash bags. The shelter is looking for 13, 33, and 39-gallon size bags. Your donations will help the animals at the shelter, especially as volunteers gear up to do some cleaning before the warmer weather nears.
And then that takes the money in our budget that's allocated for that particular item. I can use it for extraneous medical, for a hit-by-car cat, or something like that. So it's just a big thing and really helpful that anybody in our community can participate in.
And if you're looking to donate, you can drop off items at the shelter or any of the clinics. And warmer temperatures are allowing families to get outside and have some fun with the EDDC's temporary curling league location. Star Bodie checked it out, and residents, they told her about their hopes for the property in the years to come.
Spring-like temperatures are bringing families to the corner of State and 5th Streets. The Erie Downtown Development Corporation is giving families the chance to learn more about the future of the city while taking part in junior curling.
And this obviously is temporary, but in the development plans that we have, we're really looking at ways, how do we bring different people together, create spaces where everyone feels welcome.
The EDDC looks to bring more family opportunities to the city on a regular basis. This comes after the outpouring popularity of adult curling on Monday and Thursday nights.
Families we spoke to say that this is a great temporary space to use and that they look forward to the city's growth in the future ahead.
We love it down here. The kids are super excited to get a chance to use the curling rinks. Very grateful for the EDDC and all the work that they're doing to revive downtown and give us a reason to come down here and enjoy the gorgeous weather.
For the kids,
It's really sunny out and it's finally getting warm outside, and curling with the family sounds like a good idea, so I came here.
As for what's next in store for the EDDC's Curling League,
we will definitely be doing the Curling League again next year because it was so popular this year. We will be doing construction on this site, so that where this will be still remains to be seen, but it will definitely be downtown.
Star Bodie, Fox 66 News.
There are 6 states up for grabs on Tuesday, but Michigan is the biggest delegate prize. Is it do or die for Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders? I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, in this week's health report, scientists may have found a new drug to help combat the flu and the coronavirus. And barking up the wrong tree, these animal control officers coming together to rescue one scared pup.
See news happening? Shoot it, then send it to us via Facebook or the Your Erie To Go app on your smartphone. See it, shoot it, send it. Team of the Week is brought to you by Superstore Joe at Off-Road Express.
Congratulations to the Northeast Boys Cross Country Team, our Off-Road Express Team of the Week.
Nominate your team on the contest page at YourErie.com. Get out and play.
This was the sound of Karen's narrowed aortic valve. She feared she would need open heart surgery. Then she went to AHN for a minimally invasive valve replacement procedure. Now this is the sound of Karen's healthy heart, doing the things she loves with those she loves. Because every beautiful beat is living proof.
People ask why I'm so passionate about Honda. It all started 30 years ago when my mom trusted this exact 1987 Honda Accord to safely transport our family. Trust takes many years to earn, and through Bianchi Honda, I'm sharing my passion for Hondas with our community.
Bianchi Honda, trusted from the very beginning.
And still on the road today.
News is sponsored by Enormous Mobile Specialties.
I have a problem with my car. Can you fix my cruise control?
Backup camera?
Speedometer?
High beams?
Gas gauge? My wipers only have 2 speeds, off and super fast.
My remote start doesn't work.
If it's electric, we can fix it.
For all your car's electrical needs, Enormous Mobile Specialties, your electrical system experts.
Enjoy your ride.
This is Fox 66 News, first at 10.
Coming up, caught on camera, dramatic video of a brutal attack on a 15-year-old in Brooklyn, New York. That's just ahead on Fox 66 News. And Fox 66 News is your local election headquarters. Now that the carnage from Super Tuesday appears to be over, the primaries and one state caucus next Tuesday could go a long way towards sorting out the battle between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders for the Democratic presidential nomination. Fox News senior political correspondent Mike Emanuel has the story.
Now it's on to Michigan.
Michigan could be make or break for Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. With its 125 delegates, it is the biggest prize of the 6 states voting on Tuesday. Biden, off his Super Tuesday performance, is the candidate with the momentum.
And we're going to take this fight all across America to rebuild the middle class, to give people an opportunity.
A Detroit News WDIV TV poll has Biden up 6 over Sanders, with beating President Trump seen as the top issue. But Sanders upset Hillary Clinton in Michigan in 2016. Sanders is hoping to put Biden on defense over his support for the NAFTA trade deal.
In Michigan alone, these disastrous trade agreements led to the loss of more than 150,000 good-paying jobs.
Sanders canceled a rally he had planned for Mississippi, which with a large African-American population favors Biden. Instead, Sanders is expected to spend much of the weekend in Michigan hammering Biden's record.
Joe is going to have to explain to the American people why he voted for a Wall Street bailout, something that I vigorously opposed.
Former rival and new ally Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota is going to make several campaign stops in Michigan on Biden's behalf. After the Wolverine state played such a critical role for Sanders in 2016, one expert says the candidate recognizes the stakes are very high.
The delegate math gets harder after this week. This is the best of the three remaining big dates for racking up delegates for Bernie Sanders. So he's got to do something to change the dynamics of the race, and Michigan is probably the best opportunity to do that.
Florida comes a week after Michigan, and polling there suggests Biden has a strong lead. So Sanders needs something dramatic in Michigan in order to change the narrative and momentum. If he does, then the headlines may shift to Biden being in trouble again. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
And for all your election news leading up to Election Day, remember, head to our website, yourerie.com. And one person was killed and dozens hurt in a raging apartment fire in Connecticut. More than 70 firefighters in Hartford responded to the fire early Sunday. They were able to save more than 40 people, some in pitch black smoke. Other firefighters rescued people with ladders. More than 30 people were sent to the hospital.
This particular fire was very challenging because of the size and complexity of the building and the conditions that were inside of there that were created by the fire.
There were reports of an explosion that was heard on scene as well, which crews believe may have been caused by an oxygen tank in one of the rooms. And the NYPD has 5 teens in custody who they say participated in the brutal assault of a 15-year-old girl in Brooklyn. Take a look at this devastating surveillance video released by NYPD. It begins with a 15-year-old victim being kicked as she lies helplessly on the ground. Soon afterwards, a group of teenagers chased her and joined in on the vicious attack, reportedly taking her sneakers, cell phone, and debit card before running away. Officials saying that 5 of the 18 people involved are already in custody.
Cameras are great, legislation is great, but if the community isn't deeply involved and doesn't feel a sense of protection for its citizens, it doesn't work.
Now community leaders plan to rally tomorrow at noon at the very same corner the brutal attack took place.
And, well, we continue with this spring-like weather as we head into the new work week. We'll let you know when it ends, when it at least cools down, coming up.
While you're out there living life to its fullest, living every day like it's your last, seizing the days or carpeing the diems, just remember, you only need one Jeep Renegade. Because when you're a part of the longest lasting 4x4 SUV brand, you're ready to celebrate every moment.
During 10 days to deal, get $5,250 total cash allowance on the 2019 Jeep Renegade.
Everything you love about Hurdle & Brown is now in Fairview. Expert physical and aquatic therapy, evening appointments, no referrals needed, now in Fairview.
Can't drive? Don't have a ride? Don't let lack of transportation keep you from the physical therapy you need. We can pick you up. Call today to schedule your ride.
4 years ago, we decided to buy our first house and use Marquette for our mortgage. We went to build this time. First person we thought of was Marquette. We really wanted to build so we could build exactly what we wanted.
My must-haves for this home was definitely space for the kids and open concept because we like to entertain, clean, new.
I was a little bit nervous with the construction process, and Marquette made it really easy with their communication process throughout.
This is definitely our dream home. It's where we're going to raise our kids and we'll be forever.
Weather is sponsored by Off-Road Express Peach.
Polaris, the largest power sports company in the world, plus Off-Road Express, the area's largest Polaris retailer, equals
the world's best deals on the world's largest
off-road lineup.
A legendary Sportsman 450 4x4 for only $48.99. Or a hard-working Ranger 4x4 for as low as $79.99. Off-Road Express.
From your weather authority, here's meteorologist Craig Flint.
Well, I hope you had a good weekend. Certainly weather today, spectacular. A lot of sun, temperatures in the lower 60s. That's the view right now from our vantage point here at the television station. Skies are clear. We do have the worm moon for the month of March. We'll talk about that in a moment. So the record high 72, not far off, only 11 degrees, hit 61 today. Low of 34. Tomorrow we're going to be back into the low 60s. Talking about the full moon for the month of March, so technically speaking it's not full until tomorrow, but for the month of March, known as the full worm moon, because, well, things start to kind of get a little milder and you notice more of the worms starting to make an appearance. All right, so let's talk about weather watchers tonight. This is unbelievable. I mean, here we are in March the 8th, and it's 56 at the pier, 52 Penn State Barron down to Edinburgh, 55 in Northeast, 47 in Union City over to French Creek, and 46 right now in Decorey. So we shift the view to the south. We're looking at numbers in the upper 30s and low 40s into sections of Warren County, 50 still. Nifty 50 for Cambridge Springs, 49 Meadville over to Conneaut Lake, 46 right now in Meadville, 47 Sagertown, and 50 in Jamestown. Take you topside and show you, look at this expansive area of high pressure just keeping us protected. There were some returns up over the state of Michigan there, not really hitting the ground. So nice night, and that will be followed by a nice day tomorrow. Clouds start to build in, though, so we'll call it the spring fling. It continues tomorrow, breezy and milder, temperatures low 60s, sunshine, and then those high clouds start to build in. So what you're going to notice through the day is the sun becomes a little bit more fuzzy, kind of that milky look to the sky as those high clouds increase. Rain risk returns Monday night into Tuesday. That's when it starts to cool down again. So we recap the forecast for tonight. We're really not going to move much. Probably many of us will stay right around 50, but we'll keep upper 40s, inland areas, breezy, mild for March, and then as we head into the day tomorrow, it starts out with bright sunshine in the sky there. And then low 60s, I think, for the day. So once again, another very breezy, mild day. And then tomorrow night, here comes the wet weather rolling on in. Breezy, mild, rain developing, low temperatures dropping down into the mid-40s. Now, Tuesday's kind of a topsy-turvy day because 52, that occurs in the morning, and then those numbers start to drop through the course of the day. Wet weather, likely tapering by late in the day. Slight chances Wednesday, 44, and in-betweener on Thursday with a mix of clouds and sun, 46. A few early drops around Friday, 44, and right now the weekend not looking bad. Temperatures low mid-40s with some sun. And low and mid-40s, that's pretty much where we should be for this time of the year in March. YourErie.com for the latest updated forecast. Click on weather. Check out the weather cameras there and the updated forecast as well. Alrighty, let's send it back over to Brian.
Thank you, Craig. And Mike Fenner's here with sports, some conference championships to talk about, as well as the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, if you were trying to see us at 6 over on Jet, NBA kind of interfered a little bit. So we're going to get to the highlights of that PSAC championship for the Gannon women first. Then we'll talk a little NCAA tournament, where they're headed, and it's pretty exciting stuff. We'll get you all that and more in sports next.
You never know what you're going to get when you order online. Come see the experts at Doug Yaples Vacuum Cleaner Center. Don't know what to buy? See Doug. Looking for a free estimate on repairs? See Doug. Want to try a vacuum out before you buy it? See Doug. If you're looking to buy a new vacuum or have a repair on a beloved family heirloom,
So seriously, come see me, Doug Yapel.
Come see Doug at Doug Yapel's Vacuum Cleaner Center today. Does your basement look like this, or even this? Turn it into this. B-Drive System of Erie, Erie's oldest basement waterproofing company. Call today for your free estimate.
833-4103. That's the B-Dry.
Yo, Professor Nutsack, Stinky Dickweed!
On the next Mom, Bonnie meets her boyfriend's pals.
Ow, let go of my junk!
Spoiler alert, that's why we call Mitch Professor Nutsack.
And they came to party.
Remember being too drunk to have sex?
The main reason you're an only child. Was that him or her?
Does it really matter?
Next Mom.
Tomorrow at 5 on Fox 66. Closed captioning is brought to you by Hurdle and Brown.
Can't drive? Don't have a ride? Don't let lack of transportation keep you from the physical therapy you need. We can pick you up. Call today to schedule your ride.
When your doctor says physical therapy, choose any of our 5 locations: Fairview, Summit, Harbor Creek, Warren, and the West Erie Plaza.
And now, Mike Finner with sports.
Welcome on in. It's time for sports, talking college hoops to get things started. And Cleve Wright's first year back at Gannon University, his Lady Knights basketball team had the chance to claim a PSAC tournament crown this afternoon, needing to take out the top team in the league in their building. Lady Knights taking on 28-2, 7th-ranked IUP at the Kovalchik Complex and Convention Center, the Palace at Indiana. First half, Emily Poling the drive and score after the hesitation. Stop and pop. She had 8 points, 2 of them there. More from Lady Knights. Nice dish here, and toward the rack goes Haley Tavis. One of those seniors, big part of the turnaround here. 7 points, 5 rebounds. Boston McKinney now making the move. Later in the action, going glass and good. She had 4 for the Lady Knights. It was an 18-10 game at the half. Not a football game, I promise. And they didn't throw out the shot clock either. But how about Tori Obenrader? Low post move. She had 17 points and 16 rebounds. Sydney Mitchell with 12 points as well. Gannon goes on to stun IUP, handing them their 3rd loss all season. And they're dancing, going to the NCAA tournament. First time since 2010 for the Gannon ladies. They top IUP 50-40 on the road to win the conference crown and hand 7th-ranked IUP that 3rd loss all year. Tournament MVP goes to Obenrader with 17 and 16. And the last time the Gannon ladies won the PSAC, they went 37-1 with Coach Cleve Wright, made the Final Four. So now, how about their NCAA tournament run this year? Well, as a result of that, the Gannon women will earn the number 2 seed in a split Atlantic Regional. Gannon will host the first 2 rounds, assuming they win their first game, including a first-round matchup with 7th-seeded California, University of Pennsylvania, Friday at the Hammermill Center. Glenville State and Notre Dame, Ohio are also on Gannon's side of the bracket, with IUP as the top seed hosting their part of a split regional. So Brian, the reason being for that, the IUP men are hosting the men's side of things. So they split up the regional there. IUP women are going to have 4 teams coming to them, including themselves, and the Gannon ladies will have hosting rights Friday, Saturday, and we'll try to make it to Monday night for that Elite 8 run. We'll have much more coming up later in the show, including the Mercyhurst women's hockey team, their NCAA tournament reaction, and we'll see if the Mercyhurst men's basketball team makes it in as well.
Got it. Mike, thank you. And coming up, we'll have a look at today's top stories with your Erie in 66 seconds. And also coming up, Fox on Tech.
Your wireless connection could be getting much stronger if you live near a Walmart. I'm Brett Larson in New York. I'll explain why coming up.
Let our crew feed yours with Firehouse Subs catering services. Our sub platters are made with premium meats and cheeses piled high on a private recipe roll. Call or order online at firehousesubs.com. Freshly made subs, salads, and dessert platters for any event. Order now.
Don't let winter get you down. Now's the perfect time to update or remodel. Enjoy convenient instant heat with a natural gas fireplace. For comfort, style, and convenience, choose natural gas, your best energy value. Create a space where your family will love to gather, where cooking and cleanup are a cinch. Walk through our showroom for ideas and inspiration, and then we'll help you design your dreams. Visit Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 42nd and Peach, or Frontier Lumber on East 5th next to the Bayfront Highway.
Time marches on, but sometimes those old-fashioned cooking gadgets and cookware continue to be the best. You'll be surprised what you can still find at Kaplan's.
If you cook, stop and look, come on out to Kaplan's.
Let our crew feed yours with Firehouse Subs catering services. Our sub platters are made with premium meats and cheeses piled high on a private recipe roll. Call or order online at firehousesubs.com. Freshly made subs, salads, and dessert platters for any event. Order now.
Closed captioning is sponsored by St. Mary's Home of Erie.
Budget-friendly value cars at the Auto Express Resale Center. Like a 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited for only $23,900. When dependability matters, the Resale Center on Route 8 or AutoExpressSuperstore.com. Certified pre-owned Kias only at the Auto Express Resale Center. Like a 2019 Kia Forte LXS for only $13,900. When dependability matters, the Resale Center on Route 8 or AutoExpressSuperstore.com.
This is Fox 66 News. First at 10.
There have now been 2 additional presumptive positive cases of coronavirus in the Commonwealth. That headlines tonight's top stories. 2 adult patients in Montgomery County have tested presumed positive for COVID-19. This brings the total number of patients in that county to 4. Both had known international exposure and are isolated at home. The total number of presumptive positive cases in Pennsylvania is now at 6. Governor Wolf says even with the new cases, the state is prepared and responding appropriately and swiftly. And Erie City Police were called to Haas and Associates Medical Office Saturday afternoon for a reported armed robbery. Police indicated that 2 males entered the medical office with masks and hooded sweatshirts. One of the robbers pulled a gun on the employees, demanding the deposit bag. The man took the deposit bag filled with money, then both fled on foot. Police are still investigating. And warmer temperatures are allowing families to get outside and have some fun with EDDC's temporary curling league location. The Erie Downtown Development Corporation is giving families the chance to learn more about the future of the city while taking part in junior curling. This comes after the outpouring popularity of adult curling that was on Mondays and Thursday nights. And for updates on those top stories and breaking news anytime, log on to yourerie.com on the web. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Uber switching gears on a policy for workers potentially affected by the coronavirus. The ride-sharing company offering drivers and delivery people 14 days paid sick leave if they have the virus or are placed under quarantine. It's unclear how much compensation workers will receive. The practice already starting in some markets. Uber is working to expand the new policy worldwide. The company also sending out guidance to its workers on hand washing and sanitizing vehicles. And Walmart is teaming up with Verizon to make some of its stores wireless hubs. Fox's Brett Larson has more from New York.
The next generation of wireless could be coming sooner rather than later. Wireless providers announced plans last month to sunset the old 3G data networks in favor of faster 5G. And now Walmart, America's largest retailer, is in talks with Verizon to begin adding the faster wireless service in their stores. The Wall Street Journal reports that if signed, the deal would start bringing 5G service to 2 Walmart locations, offering faster wireless connections for store operations and surrounding communities, and also powering new digital health services the retail giant plans to offer employees and customers. We spoke with FCC Chairman Ajit Pai about the move to 5G, which should offer an exciting future for telemedicine.
And in many places, your only option is either to go without medical care or to drive an hour or two to see somebody who can help you. Well, 5G, we think, can help solve some of that problem by enabling a connection between a provider and a patient.
And if all goes according to plan, Walmart could turn its more than 4,500 nationwide stores into wireless hubs for local communities. In New York, Brett Larson, Fox News.
And coming up next on Fox 66 News, happy birthday! The Erie Maritime Museum and local residents joining together to wish a special birthday to the Commonwealth.
Social Security disability can be a lifesaver if you're unable to work. The process can be overwhelming. Don't take risks during this time. Instead, rely on my 19 years of experience to help you. Call me for a free evaluation of your case.
What comes to mind when you think of Bauer Specialty?
Bauer does roofing. Bauer does windows. Bauer does siding. Bauer does gutters. Bauer does decks. Bauer does kitchen. Bauer does bathrooms.
Whatever your vision, Bauer Specialty can make your dream a reality.
Last tax season, United Way Erie free taxes helped tax filers claim their federal refund and save nearly $300 in filing fees. A single mom with one child received more than $3,000 in earned income tax credit dollars. A married couple with 4 children increased their refund by more than $6,000 thanks to the earned income tax credit. Join more than 6,500 tax filers whose tax returns were prepared for free through United Way Erie free taxes. To find the nearest tax site, call the number on the screen or visit unitedwayerie.org.
After 19 years of legal experience in workers' compensation cases, I've seen it all. If you've been hurt in a work injury, you're seeing it for the first time. Don't always trust what you're told. Call me and I'll tell you what the insurance company can really do.
For the latest in news, weather, and sports, watch Fox 66 News, first at 10.
At Cracker Barrel, you'll always feel right at home. With favorites like our golden country fried steak, our scratch-made buttermilk pancakes, and our signature chicken and dumplings. So come on home to what you love. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Wimpy trash bags, come on. Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Hey ladies, buy Hefty Ultra Strong at a low price.
Dada. I wish.
Get Hefty Ultra Strong at a low price.
This is Fox 66 News, first at 10.
This year's flu season isn't over, but it's on course to be one of the worst in a decade. Add to that, the fears surrounding the deadly coronavirus are keeping infectious disease specialists on high alert. Now a team of scientists has found a new drug that may stop influenza and coronavirus in their tracks. Lou Baxter has the story. It's a story with your health in mind.
The sneezing, the coughing, and the body aches.
I couldn't move, and I had a high fever of over 100, and that stayed the same for 3 days.
Robert Cox knows firsthand how miserable the flu can be. Now he works on a Georgia State University research team testing a next-generation drug against the flu called EIDD-2801. The drug works by targeting an enzyme needed to replicate the flu virus in the body.
It looks so much like a regular nucleotide to the virus that it can't find a way to distinguish between it and the other ones,
allowing the drug to sneak past the virus and stop it from replicating.
So it stops the replication process, so the virus cannot produce new genomes that then can be packaged into new viral particles.
Some antiviral drugs currently available on the market, such as Tamiflu, have been found to be ineffective against some strains of the influenza virus. But with tests on ferrets, this new drug proves to be effective against all strains.
After extensive adaptation to our compound, we could not identify any resistance mutations.
And this drug may even be fast-tracked to combat the coronavirus, which has surpassed 3,650 deaths so far.
Colleagues of us testing the same drug against coronaviruses have actually shown this good activity.
Lou Baxter, Fox 66 News.
And the Commonwealth is celebrating its 339th birthday. Today, it's actually more formally known as Charter Day. In 1681, King Charles II granted a charter to William Penn to form the state. Now, closer to home, the Erie Maritime Museum is giving free exhibit tours all afternoon. Visitors, they got the chance to learn more about Great Lakes and the U.S. Brig Niagara history.
Erie's relationship with the water, it's something that's followed us for our entire history since the founding of Presque Isle, the Fort Presque Isle, and even the Erie Nation. So what we're talking about is the formation of the Port of Erie.
And during the event, visitors also, they had the chance to learn more about sailing techniques.
Well, certainly made you want to get out of the water today, right? With the weather the way it's been. Looks like we have one more day of that, but let's talk some trivia because it was also daylight saving time today. So which two states, there are two of them, that do not observe them, rather. Details coming up.
Sick children, injured loved ones, sudden illness. When emergencies happen, the last thing we want to do is sit in a waiting room. Did you know that the emergency room at MILLCREEK Community Hospital has the shortest wait times of any hospital in the region? The average wait time to see a physician is less than 10 minutes. MILLCREEK Community Hospital, an affiliate of LECOM Health, is open 24 hours across from the MILLCREEK Mall and just minutes away from I-79 and 90. The emergency department at MILLCREEK Community Hospital, when life's emergencies can't afford to wait.
Caregivers, are you and the person you care for not satisfied with your current home care company? Are you not getting paid weekly or overtime pay? If not, it's time for a change. Excel Home Care offers the highest compensation, pays time and a half for overtime, has paid time off, offers health and life insurance, holiday pay, and weekly pay. Choose a home care company that cares for you. Call Excel Home Care today and face a better tomorrow.
What the hell is that? Sirens turning by themselves, which is just spooky.
The epic 2-hour season finale.
Feels like the end of the world.
There's no solve for this problem.
911 Lone Star season finale, Monday on Fox.
Thanks for watching Fox 66.
This is the 2020 Nissan Rogue. I'm going to show you some of the features that are standard. This is the rear cross traffic alert. If you have any pedestrians walking in between, automatically warns you so you don't hit them.
That's awesome. I love that.
If you kind of drift over a little bit, your lane departure will beep on for you.
That's awesome that your car gives you feedback.
That's your blind spot warning.
That's so good. That's visual.
And on it. Yep, that's an easy decision.
Lease a 2020 all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue for only $239 a month, only at Interstate Nissan.
From your weather authority, here's meteorologist Craig Flint.
That is me, and you are there. Good evening to you. Here's a look at what's going on. The Bob Ferrando World Weather Cam in Girard. Really nice night, and it's really remarkable where we are at temperature-wise for March 8th. So 61 the high today. The average where we should be is 41, so way above that. Records 72 just 20 years ago, and kind of interesting stat there, both records within a year of each other, a goose egg back in 1999. All right, let's talk about what's going on weather watcher wise. 52 at Penn State Barron, 56 Niagara Pier. Edinburgh checking in at 52 as well. Mid 50s northeast. Up at Joe's house, we're looking at 40s, Corey to French Creek and Union City. As we shift the view to the south, those of you into Warren County, lower 40s in Youngsville, upper 30s though in Clarendon with a clear sky. 50 still, Cambridge Springs, Sagertown checking in at 47. 49, North Meadville, 46 in Meadville, 49 Conneaut Lake, 50 right now in Jamestown. Here's a look at satellite and radar. There's really not much showing up. We have a large area high pressure camped out to the south of us. That's providing us with just some beautiful weather. And I think we got one more day of some pretty nice weather. Now this is what you see off to the northwest, not reaching the ground here. So not going to rain as we head through tonight or through the day tomorrow as the spring fling continues here. So forecast for today was 60, we hit 61, so if you follow that logic, we would add one more to tomorrow, which is what I did with the forecast. So I think low 60s tomorrow, breezy and mild. Sunshine becomes a little milky in the afternoon, meaning that those high cirrus clouds will start to fill in, preceding our next rain risk, which arrives Monday night into Tuesday. Let's recap the forecast then for you tonight. It's a very mild March night for sure. Notable breeze, temperatures upper 40s to near 50. Tomorrow we start out bright, and then you'll notice those high clouds start to build in as we head through the day. But I think low 60s with a breeze out of the southwest, 10 to 20. So enjoy. We do have wet weather on the way in as we head into tomorrow night. Breezy, mild for March again, and it's rain with temperatures in the mid-40s. 7-day forecast, so 52 on Tuesday. That's in the morning. Then numbers drop through the afternoon. So by dinner time, it's probably like 40 to 45. Slight chances Wednesday, and kind of an in-betweener on Thursday with a mix of clouds and sun, 46. Another chance Friday. Nothing major. No organized storm systems right now. The weekend not looking too bad. A little cooler, but seasonably so. Low and mid-40s for highs. YourErie.com for latest updated forecast. Check out the weather cams there as well. And it is spring forward day, daylight saving time. 2 states do not observe DST. What are they?
I am going to say the first 2 on the list, Arizona and Hawaii.
Yeah, you'd be correct. They said, nope, not doing it. And I know that there's always been a lot of controversy with DST. So
really, yeah. All righty. Switching from weather to sports. All right, Craig, thank you very much. And Mike Fenner, he's going to join us next. More selections, Sunday fun and drama with local hoops and hockey. Mike Fenner has the latest. That's coming up next.
When you need physical therapy, go where you're comfortable.
Hi, my name is Greg Kuzma, owner of Ashley & Kuzma Physical Therapy. If your doctor orders PT, Pennsylvania law allows you to choose where you receive your care.
Choose Ashley & Kuzma.
Call the professionals at Sam Catania Painting.
Septic systems, leach fields, grease traps. It's a dirty business, and Mansfield Sanitation does it all. Cleaning, maintenance, and repair with quick, expert results. 24 hours, 7 days a week. A veteran-owned family business. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, you're going to want the best in the field. Mansfield Sanitation.
Slipped or fallen and things aren't quite right? Physical therapy can help. See a physical therapist without a doctor's order. Come in to Ashley & Kuzma Physical Therapy for an evaluation of your injuries. Choose comfort, care, and experience. Choose us. Choose Ashley & Kuzma Physical Therapy.
Get your news and get to bed. Watch Fox 66 News, first at 10.
At St. Mary's Home of Erie, we understand the challenges of aging. That is why we developed a dynamic continuing care retirement community. It's not just the care, but the lifestyle. St. Mary's Home of Erie.
Why choose St. Mary's Home of Erie for nursing care? It's all about the love. St. Mary's Home of Erie, where loving the care is a way of life.
And now, Mike Fenner with sports.
Welcome on in. It's time for sports. In case you missed it last half hour, the Gannon women's basketball team will host a split sub-regional Friday and Saturday for the first 2 rounds in the NCAA Atlantic Regional, beginning with a Friday home game against California University of Pennsylvania. How about for the Mercyhurst men's basketball team? They will also be NCAA tournament bound in the Atlantic region. They earn a number 6 seed and will face 3rd seed Charleston in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That'll take place at West Liberty, who also earns co-splitting regional hosting rights. IUP men and West Liberty men splitting that regional. A lot of confusion. We'll try to clear it up for you at 11. But how about one more team trying to get their way into the NCAA tournament?
The Big Red Open with Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst women's hockey earning their automatic bid, winning the CHA tournament, and will travel to Ithaca, New York to face top-seeded Cornell to begin the the NCAA tournament. They won the CHA tournament. The Lady Lakers take on the Big Red Saturday, March 14th at 2 p.m., and they say they're ready to go.
obviously we've had a great rivalry with Cornell over the years, and this was what we were probably expecting. So it should be a great college hockey game. You know, obviously it's a fun place to play.
We're familiar with the rink, and I think everyone's just really looking forward to play in this NCAA game.
We just got to start preparing. I mean, we've prepared this whole year for every team we've played, and now we just got to put our nose to the ground and keep going.
Mercyhurst faces the top seed Cornell Saturday, March 14th at 2 o'clock in Ithaca, New York. In the first round, Lady Lakers lost 6-2 and 2-1 in overtime in their lone series with the Big Red back in January earlier this season. And for more on the Mercyhurst women's hockey team, our Offord Express Team of the Week, well, Fox 66 Sports Director Jay Pushkar details an historic win, an overtime victory in the conference championship yesterday.
With their backs against the wall and trailing 1-0 going into the third period, the Mercyhurst Lakers turned to 3 juniors to lead the way.
The third star of the game came midway through the third when junior defenseman Rachel Marmon skated in and scored the tying goal.
We've just been working hard throughout the whole year. We never let go, and from bottom of our roster to the top of our roster, everyone contribute, and it's so important. That's how we won.
Then redshirt junior goaltender Kennedy Blair made 2 incredible saves late in the third period to keep her team in the game. Blair would make 31 saves on the night and was named the tournament's most outstanding player.
I didn't expect it, but I think it starts from the forwards and defense in front helping me out, so that's huge too. And that gives me confidence back there to play well, which when they're playing well in front of me. So
still tied at 1, 5 minutes into the first overtime, junior forward Summer Rae Dobson sent the Lakers into jubilation and celebration with the game-winning goal. Mercyhurst comes back and defeats Robert Morris 2-1 in overtime and claims the CHA Tournament Championship.
I can't even explain it. Like, I kind of blacked out. I have no idea what happened. I just put it on net and it went in, and it was just an unbelievable feeling.
We have a very proud program with a great tradition, and they want to be part of that, and they want to put their own stamp on it, and they're certainly doing that.
Now that the Lady Lakers have clinched the CHA Championship, it's on to the national tournament, where they'll try to pursue the ultimate prize. Reporting from Buffalo, New York, Jay Pushkar, Fox 66 Sports.
Team of the Week is brought to you by Superstore Joe at Off-Road Express. Nominate your team on the contest page at yourerie.com. Get out and play.
Thanks so much, Jay. To the OHL, Otters in search of back-to-back wins on the weekend, hosting second place Niagara. No score midway through the first period. And how about Brendan Sellen continuing his hot streak here? 1-0 lead for the Otters. Spirit would score the next 3 in the second period, so 3-1 to the third. Chad Yetman puts Erie back in this one. His 43rd goal of the year, leading the team 3-2 game. Here's where the controversy comes into play, though. Saginaw with it, and after this, what appears to be a hand pass, it's Daniil Antropov with a goal that was ruled good, reviewed for that hand pass, but stood. 12th of the year, 4-2 Spirit. Erie's Hayden Fowler, the power play goal, is 20th on the year 6 minutes later. However, the Otters can't find the equalizer, falling 4-3 in a tough call in the third period, possibly costing Erie the series.
Explanation. It was pretty clear as day. It was a basketball move, and I don't know what else to say.
It's really frustrating, especially because we know what happened. We think it was an illegal goal. The guy held it in his hand and held it in his hand, put it down to his stick. So you can't do that. So it's a little frustrating for sure.
Otters fall 4-3, hanging on 8th place by a thread over the Sioux. 2 weekends left in the regular season for Erie. 3-3 on the road next weekend, beginning Friday at 7 o'clock at Saginaw at 7:05 there, and then the following weekend 2 home games to close the regular season. At Edinburgh Wrestling's first MAC championship appearance at Northern Illinois, the Fighting Scots finished 11th in the team standings, with heavyweight John Spalding falling 11-0 in the final there at 285 championship, placing him in second place. So we will try to get everything straightened out there over on Jet 24 at 11 with all the Selection Sunday good stuff there. Gannon women, Mercyhurst men in basketball both going dancing, as well as the Mercyhurst women's hockey team.
Thank you, Mike. And when we come back, Craig, he'll take one last look at the forecast.
Having trouble concentrating? Lack of sleep makes it hard to focus on your daily tasks. It's time to pay a visit to the mattress experts at Jamestown Mattress. We have been making quality, affordable mattresses for over 130 years. Jamestown Mattress. Improve your sleep to improve your life.
Don't let winter get you down. Now's the perfect time to update or remodel. Enjoy convenient instant heat with a natural gas fireplace. For comfort, style, and convenience, choose natural gas, your best energy value. Create a space where your family will love to gather, where cooking and cleanup are a cinch. Walk through our showroom for ideas and inspiration, and then we'll help you design your dreams. Visit Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 42nd and Peach, or Frontier Lumber on East 5th, next to the Bayfront Highway.
What comes to mind when you think of Bauer Specialty?
Bauer does roofing. Bauer does windows. Bauer does siding. Bauer does gutters. Bauer does decks. Bauer does kitchens. Bauer does bathrooms.
Whatever your vision, Bauer Specialty can make your dream a reality.
Looking for a local brewery with a happy hour? Black Monk Brewery has you covered. Not a beer person? Black Monk has adult slushies, area wines, and fine spirits from local distilleries. Stop in at Black Monk Brewery today. Delicious beers, pet friendly, always a good time.
Well, more than 300 pieces of Beatles history will go up for auction next month at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City. A wooden stage from a Liverpool venue where the group performed in their early years, as well as rough drafts of various song lyrics and Paul McCartney's notes during a studio recording of Hey Jude are among the memorabilia expected to go up for auction. The wooden stage is expected to sell for anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000. The auction will take place 50 years after the group broke up. And finally on Fox, animal control in Kansas City, Kansas had to go out on a limb, literally, and someone's pet got stuck in a tree. A caller reported to animal control about a dog literally out on a limb, but on closer inspection, nope, it was this sweet, scared little puppy. You can see him there. Animal control officer Tyler Hansen called for backup, and before he knew it, they also climbed this old tree to bring the dog safely back to its owner.
Pooch.
Pooch. It's a cute little dog there. He would enjoy some warm weather.
Gonna get it tomorrow. Temperatures getting into the low 60s. Sun becomes kind of faded through the day. And then as we head into Tuesday, it's wet. 52 is in the morning. And then by the end of the day, it's in the 40s. But, you know, mid and lower 40s, that's pretty much where we should be for this time of the year. And no major storms as we continue into March.
Sounds good. Now, if you missed any of our newscasts, check out our website, yourerie.com. Good night.
My name is Blake. I received the heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go.